Ever since Lightfall launched, the Destiny community has just felt so low, negative after negative, and whilst I don't share the same sentiment, I can't help but shake the feeling that it's time for something new and different. By the time this video goes live, we'll be just over 2 weeks away from the final shape reveal and everything that lies beyond that. Meaning, everything that I'm about to say in this video could be made completely redundant, which is of course terrific. But I'm really excited for the event to see what's next, but what we already know is the final shape is the conclusion of the Light and Darkness saga, which is exciting, at least to me, and that after that we still have 3 more expansions for what we perceive to still be Destiny 2. The date I'm recording this because wow, what convenient timing, Bungie just released a State of the Game article on where we're at and what to expect. They mention at the end that the final shape and its raid is the culmination of the saga, and that the next chapter of Destiny 2 will go forward. I'd be lying if I said I was excited about that. It's not that I don't want more Destiny, because I think this universe is S tier, but I think at this point it needs radically shaking up. Not in its art design, gunplay, environments, raids, activity, but just in its premise. We've had back-to-back expansions and a 10-year story now of the Light and Dark saga. What we need, and what is healthy, is a break. For me, I just worry, because the final shape is essentially our Avengers endgame, which then makes me perceive that the following 3 expansions is everything that followed endgame. A whole load of mid at best, outside of No Way Home and 1 or 2 other films. Nobody wants another 3 years of fighting the Vex or the Cabal. I just don't find that something to get excited about. For sure, they could do some interesting stuff, but I don't think it's anything that would get anybody up off the seat and hyped and excited. I anticipate that Bungie will recover from Lightfall and deliver with the final shape and make it the pinnacle of the franchise. I really do. But that's where I feel it would be healthy to take a little break. See, I recently got heavily into Final Fantasy XIV, which in itself had its own endgame event called Endwalker back in 2021, concluding its long-told story just like Destiny's about to. Its next expansion has just been revealed to drop next year, a near 3-year gap between the end of one saga and the beginning of another, and I can't help but feel Destiny would only benefit from doing something similar. Especially when you look at where community sentiment is at for the game right now. Don't get me wrong, it is nowhere near as bad as you will be made to believe, but even within my playing group, who are more casual, there's a feeling that we won't know how we'll feel post final shape. And you might say, well, just take a break, but if you're going to begin a new saga, you don't get a chance to. Personally, I'd love for Destiny 2 to just conclude at the final shape and begin anew with Destiny 3. And whilst we wait for the new saga, there would be a way for anyone who hasn't got to check out this incredible run of what the franchise can do. See, Final Fantasy XIV is the gold standard of live service games to me. I've started from the very beginning and reached the first expansion. Wouldn't it be cool if people could have that same experience for Destiny 2 whilst we all waited for the new saga of Destiny 3? Whilst those veteran players maybe still got one-off seasons in the same vein of Final Fantasy XIV's post-expansion patches, and giving others the chance to take a break and play something else. Destiny 2 is now based and designed around FOMO. If you wanted to take an extended break, you can't, because you'd miss the vaulted seasonal content, and once you're out, it's so hard to get back in. It kills me that I could never recommend Destiny 2 to someone who would like to get into the franchise, and that stinks, man. But it's not just the story and potential fatigue as to why we need a Destiny 3. There's more to it than that. We're at a point where loot is just, well, it's just uninteresting now. Outside of the well-crafted exotics, I don't get excited about new gear because at this point, you've got everything. Every tool you need for the job. And that's not necessarily an awful thing because it means during the seasonal downtime, you no longer have to grind for loot. You can go and play something else. But it does make the sandbox less interesting. In my video a few weeks ago about what makes Destiny 2 so special, I spoke about how guns themselves have their own journey, what you use them for, what seasons and chapters of Destiny 2 you spent time with them with. Now, I can't remember the last time I used a new seasonal weapon. The sandbox is so big, we're no longer sunsetting weapons, that it doesn't feel interesting, and I can't imagine another 4 years of this sandbox. You could argue that people get sick of Call of Duty releasing annually and having to start all over again, but what it does mean is that those players get a new sandbox yearly, a new chase. Unfortunately, the Destiny 2 loot is now stagnant, and 4 more years is not going to help. They mentioned in the State of the Game article that we can expect a new subfamily of weapons when it comes to the final shape, but even then, my point still stands. After the initial novelty wears off, you'll still go back to what works and what is meta, because that's what's safe.
Oh, thank you.
Another thing mentioned was that of seasons, that in seasons 22 and 23 there's going to be a dramatic shake-up, but it's not the seasonal structure that actually bothers me, it's the FOMO it creates. Seasons are designed in mind to keep you coming back for its activities, loot or seasonal story beats, but when the year in Destiny is up, there's no way to revisit that. For me, Menagerie is as key as an activity to Destiny as me knowing that next season is going to be about resurrecting Savathûn, and that the final mission of exercising Savathûn's worm was as important as chasing Callus to Neomuna. If it continues down this path, nothing changes. You still have to be really in on Destiny to be a part of Destiny. A Destiny 3 could sure help alleviate this, build the new foundations for seasons in the same vein of Final Fantasy patches, where we never lose those story beats, and anyone can catch up. They did hint at being able to relive moments of Destiny 2 to be showed off at the reveal event, but I can't help but feel a new foundation, a new beginning, would help with this. There's 2 final reasons I want a Destiny 3. I want it to feel fresh and exciting again. Bungie build just awe-inspiring universes, but I can't help but feel we've milked this one dry now. Enemies are now so dull to keep coming up against. They want us to have a space fantasy. Let us go and explore somewhere else in the universe and chart a new course. Keep the Vex around if you want, but new enemies, new allies, new characters to meet. Yes, this can be done with expansions, but I'm not sure how many more times I can hear something on your mind, Guardian. I'm sorry, that was so bad. It will hurt to leave Lance and Zavala behind, and the final shape is the last we will get of them. I just feel that a fully fledged sequel can not only just create a new universe to explore, but a new universe with new players to explore it with. A fresh basis where you can now show others who have felt sidelined by Destiny for so long just what incredible things Bungie can do. The final is a chance to reset the microtransaction system. I understand that live service games are fucking expensive to make. I am so patient with them. I've actually bought a ton of Destiny skins and ornaments. Again, Final Fantasy XIV has been a real eye-opener. You pay for your sub, but even before that, you can access the entire base game and first expansion for free. Its store is not once shoved in your face like the Eververse, nor is its best cosmetics of every single season and expansion locked behind a paywall. The real issue is Destiny 2 now has too many microtransaction avenues, and not enough to be earned just by playing. Yeah, in fairness, we can eventually purchase most of it for Bright Dust, but give us more back for doing challenges or objectives. Rein it in, centralise it, make it armour, ornaments and emotes, and give the player more opportunities to earn. Destiny 3 would present a chance to actually make a free-to-play game, and not a free-to-try. Or go to a subscription-based service, I don't know. But Destiny 2 is not a free-to-play game. Maybe after the showcase it will be, but a new game would give them an opportunity to find a model that is true to its name. Here's the thing, I have no doubt that Bungie are going to deliver and then some when it comes to these final 2 seasons before the final shape and the final shape itself. I really do. When sentiment of the game is low, they always bounce back. I wouldn't be surprised that if at this showcase They even convince me that we don't need a Destiny 3, because every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. What awaits us might be some of the best stuff Bungie has ever pulled, and yet, I still can't help but shake the feeling that there's a perfect chance here to take a small break. Small sub-stories for those who want it, and a chance for others just to reflect on a rocky but outstanding 10-year story. We know that these plans are already in motion and nothing's going to change that. I do feel like Destiny 3 is what's most healthy for the franchise and its player base, because unlike Marvel, where DC is yet to get its shit together, it still offers the prestige comic book cinematic universe. Destiny is competing every single day to keep you, and with that comes the risk of burnout. Because out there are so many other games waiting to bring you in as a new player.
Will it auto revive, Joe?
Here, we have expansion after expansion after expansion. And like I say, that comes with the risk of burnout. Like I say, Final Fantasy XIV has shown me what confidence is as a video game, but also a franchise. It doesn't just want to keep you around forever or force you to because of FOMO. It demonstrates confidence in its offerings, characters and story, that when you want to start, you can. And when you want to take a break and come back, you can. Destiny 2 has played a huge role to me in meeting a fire team that I love playing with. The raids that we ran, the stories that we told, Cabal that we yeeted, and Rook that stomped on us. But all good things come to an end, and Destiny 2 should fall so that Destiny 3 can rise. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting that like button. It helps me out massively. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the current state of Destiny and where it should go next. If you're looking for more Destiny 2 content, you're in the right place. Go ahead and subscribe. I've got you covered. Have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next one.